Hey there, welcome back, Shubham this side. Now let us start our journey with JavaScript. Till now we have been discussing about either our environment setup or about the resource part. But now let us dive deep with JavaScript concept, files, installation and all the other stuff. The first thing that we should discuss right now is how we are going to run our JavaScript files. Do we need any type of compiler? Do we need to install any type of software? Anything else? Well, there are two ways by which we can run our JavaScript code. The first one is through our browser. Yup, you heard it right. So if we have a browser, you don't need to install anything right now. Everything will be taken care by our browser itself. And we are going to see how. That means, in short term, I can say a browser has JavaScript and we are going to utilize it. We don't need to install anything else. So we are going to write our code in our VS Code and then run it on our browser. That's it. Simple way, and that's how we are going to run everything. But if we need to run JavaScript outside our browser, what we are going to do? Well, for that we are going to utilize Node. That means we have two options. To run everything on our browser, but if we want to access JavaScript outside our browser, then we need to install Node.js. Later we are going to do that. We are going to understand about Node and why it is important. That means for now you don't need to install anything, you just need a browser. My strong recommendation is utilize Google Chrome. There are other browsers in the market, Firefox, Safari, Edge and multiple tons of other, but I strongly recommend to utilize Google Chrome. This will make life easier for both of us. That's it. First part is done. We don't need to install anything. We are going to utilize browser. The second thing, where do we need to write our JavaScript code? So there are three specific ways. The first way is going to be our script tag. So all I have to do is inside my head at the end, I can add a script tag and you can see my IntelliSense is already recommending me. This is going to be my script tag. And inside this I can add my JavaScript code. Let me add it here. Alert. Hello world. Okay. And let me add a semicolon. Remember this semicolon. It's going to be a big topic. So this is a simple line of code. You don't need to understand about this right now. All you need to understand is we have a script tag and inside this we can add our JavaScript code. Let me save this one and get back to my browser. You can see this is our alert, which is a simple pop-up. Okay, and our page is loaded. Great. So this is the first way. That means we can add a script tag inside our header. Remember to add it at the end. There is a second way also, which is at the end of our body tag. Let me take this from here and get inside my body. And I can add my script tag here and save this one. Remember one important thing, to add it at the end. That means before closing of our body tag, add the script. You don't need to add script at the top. You don't need to add script in the middle. Make sure to add the script just before the end of body tag. And if I get back to my browser, you can see hello world. Okay, and our page is loaded. That's simple. These are two cases. Either to use inside our head at the end or to use inside our body at the end. Great thing. Let me remove this one. The other one, which is the most recommended one, is to utilize by creating a new file. That means here I can create a new file and let me call this as index.js. Remember this .js is the extension. It's important to utilize JS as extension so our system can recognize that this is a JavaScript file. Let me press enter and now we can add our JavaScript code. Let me use the same code, which is alert, and let me say hello world from index.js. And remember I have a semicolon at the end. Let me save this one, get back to my browser and nothing happened. Why? Because we are currently loading index.html And how index.html is going to know about this file? We need to link it. So there are two ways. Similarly, we can link at the end of our head or we can link at the end of our body. Let me do that. Let me use script, and here I just need to use source, which is src, and I just need to pass the path. Remember, if your path is in the same document, you need to use // and then your file name, which is index.js. I strongly recommend to utilize the second one, which we are going to discuss, which is the end of our body. So if I just get back here in our browser, you can see our code is working. Here you need to remember one important thing, that now we are not utilizing any type of script tag inside our index.js. We just added our JavaScript code directly. Okay, now let me take this one and add it at the end of our body tag. Save this one, get back here. You can see it's working. That's great. So that's how we are going to work with our JavaScript file. Just remember one point. You don't need to add script tag, a common mistake that most of the students do as a beginner. The second thing, don't add spaces with your file name, with your folder name. If you need to divide your file name into two parts, if you need to divide your folder name into two parts, use dash or use underscore. So there are two common terms that you should know. Avoid any type of other symbol with your file name or with your folder name. If you want to divide your name like Shubham Sharda, if your file name is Shubham Sharda, you can use Shubham-Sharda. Make sure to use dash, don't use space with your file name, okay? That's the first advice. The second advice is, there are other options that you can explore with your file name. It can be sandbox.js, it can be main.js, it can be script.js, and the most common one is index.js. We are going to explore all, it's just a file name, but for now I am going to utilize index.js. The third point is, which method is recommended to add our JavaScript? Should I use the script tag and add all the code here, or should I work with external file? Well, I strongly recommend and I strongly suggest, please use our external file and then just link it here. That's it. Now everything regarding our JavaScript will be in a separate file. And that's how we are going to work. I hope this lecture was helpful. Now in the next lecture, let us understand more about browser and see how our JavaScript is going to control it. Thank you for following, and I see you guys in the next one.